Welcome to Western Wisconsin Journal, and I've invited a dear friend and one of my favorite people at the FIPS back today, and it is John Potter, Executive Director of the FIPS. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you, Bobby. It's great to be here.
It's wonderful to have you back because I've been looking at the new brochure, and I think you've done a wonderful job with programming. And I do want to talk about the different offerings today.
Be delighted to do that.
Thank you. So what should we start with? Music, drama, art? You've got it all.
You know, so I have my brochure right in front of me here,
and
that'll keep me honest. The theater series is the first, so I'm just going to start with that. And we have our first production of the season is The Producers, the outrageous Mel Brooks comedy.
Yes.
The last weekend is August 2nd through the 4th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we do have good seats available. Gotten rave reviews, but it's a bit different from our standard fare, let's put it that way.
Oh, really?
Well, don't you think?
Well, I just think it's a wonderful choice, and it's obviously I would love to see it too this weekend. But I've heard good things already.
It's a great production. Just a great production. But it is Mel Brooks.
And it's got to be funny.
It's very funny.
Very funny. And I know a couple people in the cast, so I'm excited.
It's got an all-star cast. So.
And there are still tickets.
There are.
All right.
There are.
Well, I hope people will come out then. That's right away this weekend.
Yes, indeed. It's the final performances of the run. And then this fall we'll be doing Stephen Dietz's new comedy, Becky's New Car.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an interesting show in that it is hilarious. The complications result in more complications, and then in the end, it isn't necessarily tied up with a neat bow. But the essence of it is Becky is a middle-aged woman who is courted by a very wealthy widower. And he believes that she is a widow, which she is not.
Uh-oh.
And she doesn't correct him. And it gets very, very interesting.
So is it a little bit funny too?
It's hilarious.
Oh, it's very funny.
There's an underside to it that there are certain ramifications from carrying on a relationship like that.
Well, yes. I think most of us try to make a better choice than that.
I think everyone will sympathize with Becky. I really think they'll empathize with her.
And so that's the first thing in September.
That's in September.
Actually mid-September.
Mm-hmm. And then we have our annual holiday show. It's Irving Berlin's White Christmas.
Oh, what a good choice.
Which features 17 songs by Berlin, and it's based on the popular film White Christmas.
Yes. Oh, that'll draw so many people.
Well, we certainly hope so.
And I see they have to get in there before December 1st.
It runs November 1 through December 1, so
yes.
It could be the first outing on your holiday schedule.
That'd be delightful.
Then we have the Phipps Children's Theater is doing Disney's Mulan, which is also based on the popular film. It's a musical version of the film. Yes. And that will feature a high school age cast. Right. They do terrific work, and it's a wonderful story. It's in China, the story of Mulan, a young woman who assumes the role of a man in the army, is as well known and is as popular as Cinderella is in this country. Wow. So it's a very common folk tale, and it has a wonderful lesson. It's very funny, and it's also very moving.
And we're talking February now.
February for that performance.
And I believe I know the director.
You may.
Would it be you?
You may. It is.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then, is it possible that I might know the music director?
You very well could know the music director as well. He's well known in this community.
Yes.
Yes.
And so definitely a must-see.
And I have to give credit to Christina Linus, who will be the choreographer. Oh, and wow. It's quite a team. I just sit back and let them do their thing. And
that is always a wonderful production. that time of the year, and when you direct, you get so much out of those students.
Well, they bring a great deal to it.
They really do.
We're very fortunate.
That's a great show, and I've already had questions about it.
Oh, good.
I don't know why, but they're asking me, and I've told them, oh, I know it's Mulan. But you'll have to find out the details. So good. Great.
And then the season, the theater series ends with The Fox on the Fairway, which is a relatively new comedy about two rival golf club owners. Oh. And it gets pretty heated, and the more heated it gets, the funnier it gets. So
good.
Great new comedy.
That'll be a big draw, April and May.
Indeed.
Very good.
And I didn't mention our theme for the season is Together Along the 45th Parallel. Oh. And the idea of that is an expression of our commonality with individuals and communities throughout the world.
Okay.
In celebration of our 30th anniversary season.
Yes, I had forgotten. It's a big anniversary year.
Well, I don't know how many folks really care that it's our anniversary.
I suppose not.
But it is a cause for our celebration, and what we wanted to do was recognize the global community and say, what can we sample from each of those areas along the 45th parallel.
Oh, that's a great
So
idea.
We've been a little loose in our definition of the 45th parallel, but if it goes through a country, we'll claim it.
Okay, very good.
The reason I do that long-winded explanation is the first event on our music series is Ensemble Aventura, who has played here before.
Right.
And they'll be doing a number of communities, countries in Europe. So it's Parisian ballads, German satire, gypsy jazz, Balkan dances, and Russian romances. And we're calling it Cabaret at Cafe 45. So they've just embraced this concept because it's the sort of thing that they do world music, and they just jumped at the chance. So we're delighted to have them back opening the music series.
And that's our very own violinist.
Sarah Birch is our violin instructor at the Phipps Center,
yes.
and she is one of the members of the company.
Oh, wonderful. What fun.
Then in November, Patrick Ball will be returning. He is a Celtic harpist and a storyteller, and most of his stories are Irish folk tales or legends or just funny stories of the British Isles. Marvelous performer, and if you haven't seen him before, it's a real treat. I've never known anyone quite like him, so
really?
A unique artist.
Well, and I just love the thought of that harp.
It's a beautiful instrument.
It is. I've always admired people that play the harp. Very nice.
In January, we have a new ensemble, the Barley Jacks with Brian Wickland. Brian has been around for a long time. Last performed at the Phipps with Stony Lonesome, which was a long time ago. It'll be a blend of bluegrass, Celtic music, and roots. And a wildly popular ensemble. Tickets are selling very quickly for that one. So I'm happy that he's returning with this ensemble.
Good.
Sheldon Theater Brass Band, an audience favorite. Varied program of marches, overtures, classical transcriptions, jazz, and popular tunes. And they'll be back in March. And then our season ends with the Minneapolis Guitar Quartet. It's been a long time since we've had them here. Yeah. And they play a wide variety of music, Renaissance, Baroque, to Spanish, Latin American, and Romantic, to contemporary works. And their program will have all of those genres. An outstanding quartet, and we're very happy that they can return.
That's wonderful.
Some folks may not know that we have a restored Wurlitzer Theater pipe organ.
Oh, yes.
And we do have a series on that. Ron Rode is a favorite. He'll be coming back in October. Jelani Eddington will return with a holiday concert that'll also have the short silent film, A Christmas Carol. I think it was made around 1910 by the Edison Company. And it's a 10-minute version of the entire story of A Christmas Carol. So it's a real fun show.
Oh, that would be great.
And that is December 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Clark Wilson will be returning in February, and he'll be accompanying Buster Keaton's silent film Sherlock Jr.
Oh.
And for those that are unfamiliar with Buster Keaton, probably my favorite silent comedian. But also wild stunts. He did all of his own stunts, and they're pretty extraordinary in this one. And that's in February. Jonathan Ortloff is an outstanding young organist, 20-something. Originally from the West Coast, won organ competition, national organ competition while he was on the West Coast, and now he's moved to the East Coast as his base of operations and towards the country. So he'll be returning with a varied program. There's always surprises with Jonathan because as a 20-something, he's listening to music that maybe you and I are not. Although you may well be listening to it.
Well, probably not. I could see where that could be very interesting.
Yes, he does things on the organ that maybe most organists are not doing, so in terms of a wide variety of selections.
Okay.
And we'll be closing the season with Dennis James returning. He's accompanying the silent feature film The Bells, which is a mystery thriller.
Oh.
That's not so easy to say.
I like
a mystery
mysteries.
Thriller with one of the first appearances of Boris Karloff.
Oh my goodness,
And
there he is.
that will be on Friday the 13th of June.
Uh-oh.
So we're looking forward to a fun show.
That sounds very good.
Dennis is wonderful. He's returned every other season, I think, since our well, very close to the beginning of the Phipps Center.
Okay.
And he has suggested this. I was not familiar with it, and it sounds like so much fun. Lionel Barrymore is actually the star of the film, so folks of a certain age will recognize that name.
Yes, both those names are very recognizable.
Indeed.
Wow.
So then I know one of your favorites is coming up in August. We have had a series of summer dance concerts featuring area choreographers and dancers. This will be the 9th year. And we've renamed the ensemble. We're now calling it the Phipps Dance Theater. Oh. And they're presenting This Is Cabaret.
Yes. And I do have.
You have a wonderful shot.
I had to bring this because Mackenzie has been on our show, and I love to promote anything she's doing.
Thank you for that.
Excellent.
Mackenzie Lewis is one of our dance instructors. She's a choreographer and a dancer, and she will be directing the entire production and also choreographing along with 4 other area choreographers.
Oh yes, they usually do it that way, don't they?
It will feature a company of about 36 dancers.
All right.
And they are auditioned from the metropolitan area. So I think probably the youngest is 16, and we have very serious amateur dancers as well as some professional dancers from the area.
I love that the dance program has gone that far.
It really has. And I think the fact that it's our 9th year of doing this concert.
I had no idea. That's wonderful.
So that's coming up August 16 through 18.
Sounds like a good show.
The classic big band and the vocal quartet, the Nostalgics, will be returning August 24th, and they're always popular. That's sure to be a sellout. I think actually there's only side stage seating available for that right now.
Already.
We have a brand new ensemble coming, and he's relatively new to the area, probably been here a little over a year. Babatundi Lee is a master percussionist, and he's played with everyone. And when I say everyone, from Van Morrison to Pharoah Sanders, so it's a wide range of genres. He has his own quartet that will be playing African rhythms, Afro-Caribbean spiced music, and straight-ahead jazz, as he likes to say. So it'll be it'll be a wild, fantastic time.
Oh
He
my
just conducted a couple workshops for us for our summer art camp.
Oh, did
doing
he?
Afro-Cuban and I can't recall the other, Afro-Brazilian drumming.
Oh.
And that had a recital at the end that folks just loved. I mean, they were,
It's such difficult and intricate patterns. And I think world drumming is big in the music world
Indeed.
right now, too.
Indeed.
And even for children, because even the school teachers are starting to get into it a little bit. So I think that would just be wonderful.
It'll be a fun show, I can guarantee that.
Yes.
And then our local popular keyboardist, Phil Cadidlo, and his Les Is More band will be performing a concert called 45 RPM. And as the name implies, it will be selections from 45 RPM records along with recollections of the music. So when I approached Phil about doing something with the 45th parallel, he went this route. And he said, just trust me, he said, there's a tie-in here. So it'll be songs, music, and stories from everywhere from Elvis to the Beatles to 80s New Wave.
Oh my goodness, and he was my elementary music student.
Is that right?
Phil and I go way back to first grade. And it's, you know, I have to tell you this. He was in my first grade music class, and he came up to me one day and he said, I can play America. And I thought, like most kids, you know, one finger. No, he said, I can play it just like you. And I said, okay. So I let him go to the piano, and no kidding, he played exactly the way I accompanied America when they would sing it. And I went, oh, he is talented beyond measure. And did you know that his crib was right next to the piano? His mother told me this. And he kept going over there and plunking, and my goodness, he's just phenomenal now.
He is.
He is well known in the music world and well known around here. And I'm just so proud that I even know him.
I feel the same way, Bobby.
What a wonderful man.
This is his first performance with this ensemble on the
I
fifth
had
stage.
never heard of that, so I was quite interested when I read it. Well, good. That's going to be a wonderful show.
It should be.
Because his keyboard skills are just way beyond. He's so excellent at everything he does.
And fun.
And fun. Nice man. Yeah, I've reconnected with him. He's over in Stillwater.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Wonderful that you're having him.
Then our holiday programming will also include the Phipps Festival Chorus, their holiday concerts on December 7. And I'm not sure how many seasons it's been for them, but I'm going to say it's probably close to 20, between 15 and 20, I would guess.
I know we celebrated a year or two ago a number, but I'm not 100% sure. But we're definitely over 20.
Oh, really? All right.
I think so.
Well, it's a 40-some voice choir that performs every holiday season, and then sometimes at other times throughout the year.
And we are auditioned.
Indeed,
I'm sure we always need new singers, so I would definitely consider it if you're a singer and you're listening.
Thanks for that.
Yes.
The theater season continues in January. The Community Theater will be performing Our Town by Thornton Wilder. It's probably my favorite play.
Really?
It's a very touching drama that will make you laugh, will make you cry, just like real life. And we'll be doing a production of it in the Black Box in January. Northern Gale is a ensemble new to the Phipps. We'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day with Celtic Trio. Ross Sutter and Laura McKenzie have both performed at the Phipps Center before, but we're adding Danielle Enblum, fiddler and a dancer, to this particular ensemble, and it'll be on March 15th in anticipation of St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, perfect.
And then the Phipps Oratorio Society will present oratorio and organ ovations on April 13th, and that's featuring oratorio choruses and festival anthems with pipe organ accompaniment by William Coleman, a professor emeritus of organ at Luther College.
Yes.
And that will actually be held at Bethel Lutheran Church on 3rd Street. And
yes.
the idea behind that is to actually use a real church organ as opposed to a
yes.
theater pipe
and it
organ.
is a very fine organ. So I'm glad it's going to be at Bethel.
Yes, indeed.
Very good.
And then our special events will end with Jared Sherlock, who is a Twin Cities illusionist and comic magician, and he'll be performing in May with everything from sleight of hand to actually large-scale illusions, making assistants disappear and reappear.
Oh, wow, and sawing in half.
All that and more.
Wow.
So that will end our special events series. But then we do have a couple of other things that you mentioned to me before.
Oh, yes. I wanted to talk about the special bonus tickets. Was that it?
Exactly.
Yep.
You're so good at this.
You've got 2 things offered there, and they both look wonderful.
Well, one's brand new to the Phipps Center, and the other is an old favorite. The Shadows Band is a 50s and 60s tribute band playing the music of the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly, Bobby Vee, Gene Pitney, and of course Roy Orbison.
Yes.
And they actually performed with these folks. So they're the real thing. They go back to that era and do wonderful tributes. So they'll be performing on January 25th. And then the Barbary Coast Dixieland Show Band returns on June 1st, and they're always a sellout. They play traditional Dixieland music as well as popular tunes and Broadway favorites.
So now how can we get tickets to those 2 events?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So we do have season tickets that give discounts to all of the other events that I mentioned. And then you can also, these are 2 bonus shows that are on sale, but they are not discounted.
They're excellent shows.
So a 7-event package, and I have to refer to my notes here.
Yes, I do too.
Allow you to purchase 7 events of your choice, whatever they may be, 7 different events for $16 a ticket. Which is a great deal. So it's $112 for the series. A 5-event package of 5 different events would be $17 per event. And so that would be $85 for the series. And then we also have a 3-event package, which is $18 per ticket for a $54 series package. And then the Shadows Band and the Barbary Coast Dixieland Show Band would be in addition to that. They are not, again, they are not discounted tickets. But we haven't even talked about our galleries offerings or our classes.
Goodness.
But there's, I think, another program there maybe.
Well, yeah,
for
because
a different guest.
There's always things in the galleries, and I love to go through the galleries when I'm before the concert or during intermission, and often I'm down there for other events, other meetings or whatever, and I love to go through your galleries. And you have a wonderful art program.
I would agree with you. We have a different show every 4 to 6 weeks, and it is, for the most part, area artists, and we review artists on an annual basis.
Yes.
So we have individual shows, group shows, theme shows, and from time to time, special shows from outside the area.
And I think it was February or March, I did an interview at the hospital on the healing arts, and
Yes.
John, you have expanded. Chelsea was also on the show.
Well,
And we talked about the expansion of the healing arts.
yes. Not only is it in, we have a program of, I think there's 350 pieces of art on display at Hudson Hospital, 350. So it was a very intentional design on the hospital's part, and I'd have to commend Marion Furlong for her vision for the hospital.
I think it's wonderful. It's the best thing you could ever have developed. And
But-
I have been up there with a patient several times. And I've been in the room, and I've had the benefit of seeing the art
Indeed.
and the birdhouses. And everything up there is just phenomenal. In fact, I recommended it for the garden tour this year because the sculpture
terrific.
gardens are so incredible as well. So that actually did go on the garden tour the end of
Fantastic.
June for the Women's Club.
Well, we have started a similar program in New Richmond now.
Yes.
So did Chelsea talk about
She
that?
did talk about that, and she's very excited, and she was very articulate. Good job
Good to hear.
hiring
Very
her.
good to hear. Very good to hear.
Yes, she brought it all out, and I had no idea you'd expanded to New Richmond. So, but that is one of my favorite things that you've ever done from the FIPS, is that program, because so many people are touched by it.
Yes.
So wonderful job again.
Well, I'd have to, again, credit Marion and Anastasia Sharkey
Yes.
as our visual arts director.
Yes, you really must. Now, we didn't talk about the Sunday champagne brunch.
Oh,
cruise.
goodness.
We better talk about that just a little,
Read best.
because you do offer that.
We do. During the summer and fall, we have a partnership with Afton Hudson Cruise Lines.
Right.
So they are docked at the Hudson docks, at the municipal docks there, and we have a package with a Sunday matinee, so you can go for a cruise on the St. Croix and get back in plenty of time to go to the matinee. So for the producers, every Sunday afternoon, we offer that package. And then for Becky's new car in September, there'll still be beautiful weather during that time.
I hope so.
We'll offer it's a noon cruise, champagne brunch, and then we have the matinee starts at 2:30. So it's very easy to walk up to the FIPS after you come off the boat.
Well, I've always wanted to do that, and I still haven't done it.
Oh, there's
Here's
still
another
time.
year has gone by,
Still
and I
time.
really need to get on that boat and then enjoy the theater.
Well, it's a wonderful Sunday afternoon
It is.
activity.
It's
Yes.
a wonderful thing to do. And the river and everything around it is just so beautiful. And I've noticed that there's more and more people coming over to get on the river and all kinds of things. I mean, I think people just love this area.
They do. They do. The
So
river's always a draw.
you've tied into that very nicely.
And for folks that
very
aren't familiar, we're right along on First Street. We're overlooking the St. Croix. So
Yes, that's a good thing to point out. Just head toward the river, and
You'll
you'll
find
see
us.
the band shell, and eventually right across the street you will notice the FIPS Center. It's very attractive. Well, then the last question is, we always need volunteers. So what are the opportunities there now for volunteers?
I'm so glad that you mentioned that. You did mention that the festival chorus is auditioned.
Yes.
And almost all of our theater productions, be they the community theater or the children's theater company, they're auditioned as well. So for every show, anyone from the area, and we define the area very broadly, so it's the entire St. Croix Valley and beyond,
Yes,
has an opportunity to audition for the show. Also for the Phipps Oratorio Society, that's open to any singer that wants to come and,
That's right.
perform. There are
no auditions.
No auditions for that one.
A lot of people ask me about that, and you know, that is the choir that you really don't have any worries, because you can just go right into the choir with no audition.
Then we have opportunities backstage for all of these shows. There's areas in the shop, or building costumes, or painting the set, running lights, running sound, hanging and focusing the lights. We have all of the supporting services as well. So folks that mail out the brochures, flyers. Folks that sell the tickets, folks that usher, house managers. You've probably done all those things.
Well, I've done a lot of it, and that's because I like to give back, and I think that's an important thing for the FIPS to have. There's lots of volunteers.
It's always been the backbone of the center. We currently have over 500 volunteers on an annual basis. Yes. And there's probably 1,000 different volunteer positions throughout the season. So we rely very, very heavily on volunteers, and there's something for almost anyone, and great social opportunities as well. So
true. And I know there's much more we could talk about, but I think you've covered it very nicely.
I've talked way too much, but
no, you certainly haven't, and I thank you for coming on the show again. It's getting to be a yearly event.
That works for me.
And I think it's good to get the word out, because I know all of you would enjoy visiting the FIPS, and whatever is offered and combining some of these things. It's our own art center, and I have always been so delighted with it. Ever since it came here, we'll just think, 30 years?
It is.
Huh? I kind of remember that too. But we won't go there. So thank you, John, for coming today.
Bobby.
I appreciate your coming here, and hopefully you will attend some of the FIPS events, and I highly encourage that. So thank you for watching today.